Hello and welcome to a special bonus episode of Football Fives. I'm here with Jiggy, who was my guest for the Bolton Wanderers episode. He submitted a five-a-side team for Bolton Wanderers, and this is a Bolton Wanderers based bonus episode because we are on the 16th of January, and yesterday one of our star strikers, Dion Charles, left Bolton Wanderers and signed for Huddersfield for an undisclosed fee on a 2.5-year contract, I think it was. So we're just going to talk about Dion Charles, going to talk about the exit, how we feel about it, and we'll touch on Mr. Ian Evatt as well at the end. So Jiggy, first of all, how you doing, mate?
I'm all right, good, thank you very much.
Good. Have you been enjoying the series so far?
Loved it. It's really, it does helps me get home on those cold, dark nights. So yeah, it's been really good. Been really interesting to listen to some of the other teams that have been put forward. I think today I listened to the Wolves. The Wolves team, and just listening to some of the players that just play for Wolves alone was really interesting. Yeah. Keith Curl and players like that, yeah, really good, really good.
And the big brave soldier. Right, okay. So let's get on to our topic. Obviously, myself and me and you are season ticket holders at Bolton. We sit kind of next to each other. And Dion Charles, a striker, joined us in 2022. Has gone to Huddersfield. Yeah. So how do you feel about
that? I'm not really that surprised, in all honesty. I think he was potentially anchoring for a move anyway, just purely because he wasn't getting as much game time as he has done in the last couple of years he's been with us. Evatt seems to be rotating the strikers quite a lot, and I think given his age at 29, 30, and the fact that we could get some money for him, however much that is, I don't know, but I think it's about right. I am slightly gutted. I'm not massively gutted, but I'm not surprised either. I think it was time. It was time that the club and he had to move on. I think he was just frustrated at not playing in, week out. And that's not to say he'll play week in, out at Huddersfield, but I think he'll get more of a chance of playing a full 90.
Yeah, definitely. I think I was reading somewhere on social media on a Huddersfield. I can't remember, it was the official page and it was some of the comments. But a lot of the people saying that he'll apparently, this is obviously going off that he's going to suit their style of play.
You would think. They absolutely, when Huddersfield came to our place, they absolutely gave us a beating. They beat us 5-0. They were in the champion. I'm right in saying they were in the championship last year, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're a good team coming down. They will definitely create more. I listened to an interview with him today with the Huddersfield TV, and they will create more chances for him than we have been created for him. He'll be playing more. You'd like to think he'll play more, and he will. He is a good striker at League One. He's a good striker.
Yeah.
The only criticism I've got of him is he is subject to, and it's a fine thing for me to say, he's subject to. He misses too many sitters.
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
literally misses too many sitters, and that's what lets him down from becoming a half decent championship striker. Because I think if Huddersfield were to go up, I don't think Dion will. He'd get in the team because I think they would strengthen in attack anyway.
Yeah,
and he might find himself back in League One at somewhere next season.
Yeah, let's just talk about he's prone to missing, because every striker is prone to the odd miss. Yeah. But for me, he has missed more than his fair share. He missed that weekend. He missed an
absolute sitter.
Yeah. And then he missed at, funnily enough, we were talking about it just before recording. Last season, when we were in a fantastic position where we had, was it about 5 games in hand?
No, we had 3 games in hand.
Was it 3? I thought it was more than that.
No, we definitely weren't more. It was about 3 games in hand, and we were about 2 or 3 points behind Portsmouth, and we played Portsmouth on the Monday night because we watched it in the pub.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
And we were away from home, and that Monday night game against Portsmouth was like our first of the games in hand. And Portsmouth last season were absolutely on fire. They tore the league apart. But we matched them for the first 20-25 minutes.
We battered them in the first. Battered them in the first half. We deserved to be in front.
We deserved to be in front. And then Dion missed that chance. And it wasn't as though it was like an 8-yard open net. It was like it was a Jiggy special, 2 or 3 yard open net, and he put it wide. Yeah. And for me, that's a little bit unforgivable.
Yeah,
for a striker.
Yeah, because it kind of changed our season. Because we lost to them, and then we didn't. The games in hand that we had, we were very poor. We didn't pick up hardly any point. Might have picked up the odd point, and then we ended up out of automatic and in the playoffs, and obviously what happened.
I mean that game would you can only hope. But if we'd won that game against Portsmouth, that would have given the team that confidence to go on and build on that and win. I think we felt it watching the game. When we missed it, we were like, that was just a gilt-edged chance just to win that game and then knock on from there. Yeah. Not to say we would go up or, we might find ourselves in the same situation, but it was, however much I like him, and I do like it, and I remember him, he has scored some really good goals for us, really good. Like we were saying before we were recording, his goal against Shrewsbury away, unbelievable. I think I might be wrong on this, but I think that might have been one of his first games for us. And he rattled it into the top corner from the edge of the box. The one thing that you can't deny, and I think this is where Bolton will lose out big time, is he's one of only the 4 strikers that will run himself into the ground. Yeah, he will absolutely. I mean, spookily enough, we play Huddersfield, don't we, next Saturday?
Yeah, we'll come on to that. We'll come on to that at the end.
And he will terrorise our defence. Yeah, just because the way we play is building it from the back. If Dion's playing, he will chase down everybody. He will not. He's, to be fair, he's a great 5-a-side player.
We're not doing that again. Rejig the team.
He's a great 5-a-side player because he will just hassle you.
He doesn't stop.
He just doesn't stop. But he lets himself down when he's got a bit of time.
I think for me, with regards to him going, I mean, I wasn't surprised when he went, and I wasn't overly bothered either. And the reason being is, I mean, look, he's been fantastic for us. He's prolific, I suppose. 122 appearances, 45 goals. And he's lost something. He's massively lost something this season. He's missed a lot of sitters. He's also rubbish. He's gone rubbish at taking penalties because he's not only he's missed a few, or the last few that he's taken, he's missed. Yeah. But they've been shocking. They've been shocking.
Against when Lola scored, I can't remember it. Was it Peterborough? That. He took that penalty in the last minute.
It was rubbish.
It was saved, and then his header, which was from 2 yards out, was saved again. Yeah. And it was only because everybody piled in, and we fortunately got it in. But I do put it down to it, and there's got to be an element of blame on the manager with Dion to a certain extent, because Dion only playing like 60 minutes every other week. Yeah, he's not that type. He needs to be playing, like most strikers, every week. So if he's not playing every week, he will lose that sharpness in front of goal, and maybe there's a bit more pressure on it, or he's imposing more pressure on himself. because when he does get the chance, he's like, well, I want to stay in the team. So, but I do, you know, and Evatt will always go back to, well, the stats on the side of the pitch say that he's reached his maximum for the game. I've got to apportion a bit of blame to Evatt on him leaving.
Well, we will come on to Mr. Ian Evatt. Just before that, though, I mean, I'm going to get a lot of stick for this, but I'm going to kind of defend him a little bit here because
Evatt.
Yeah, because I think he's gone down in the pecking order with strikers. Because I think in terms of work rate, he's number one by a country mile.
Yeah,
okay,
definitely.
But you're picking Collins all day long over Charles because Collins. The reason why you're picking Collins is when he's on his game, he's unstoppable. But when he's not, he's always got that goal in him. And Dion Charles hasn't. Dion Charles hasn't got that goal in him. Not now, not anymore. Because he misses sitters and he misses the important game. He misses important goals, and that's for me. That's a psychological thing. Yeah, you could blame Evatt for not playing him, but at the end of the day, if he's not playing, he's got to prove himself. And I don't think Dion Charles has proved himself enough to be a regular starter in that team. I'd pick Collins over him, and I'd probably pick McAtee over him as well. And I don't think McAtee's hit the ground running at all. But again, he puts work rate in.
He does.
And he puts effort in.
He does. Yeah, he definitely does. And Evatt has tried to play McAtee, Collins, and Dion Charles up front together.
Yeah.
And it hasn't properly worked. Whether for whatever reason, whether they're playing, you know, if Dion's out wide on the right and Collins is in the middle, or McAtee's in the centre, it's just never worked as much as I think Evatt would have liked it to. And I don't think he's ever. I mean, again, personally, I think we've got four of the best strikers in the league. Three now. Yeah, yeah. But we shouldn't be with the strike force that we have. We shouldn't be languishing in 10th. And Dion is a major factor in those four. He will do well at Huddersfield. I am positive he'll do well. He will do well because when he came to us, he was brilliant. You know, and maybe that's for his own career. Might be something. He just wants a fresh start. 29, potentially this is his last big move for himself. Yeah, and he wants to keep playing for Northern Ireland, and I think that's a big factor in why he's gone.
Especially if they go up, because they're fourth at the minute, Huddersfield. Yeah, and I think they'll go up. I do think they'll go up Huddersfield.
But they're going to be there or thereabouts.
If they go up, he's got more of a chance of getting picked.
Yeah, I mean, I think he'd get picked anyway. But
he ain't getting picked now
because
he's not getting picked now. He's not playing and not scoring. So if he's playing for Huddersfield, scoring goals, especially if they go up in the Championship, he's got more chance.
But I am gutted he's gone, just because you just don't want to see a striker in particular who does score goals, you know, and he has given us some. Like I said, he's worked hard for the team. I think he's only been a bit disruptive. I think maybe about 6 or 7 months into his career at Bolton, I think him and Evatt did fall out for a period of time. But he always worked hard. Yeah. You know, he always worked hard. And, you know, some of the goals he has scored for us, not many, but he has scored some good goals for us.
Go on then, tell us a few.
Well, the first one was the Shrewsbury one away. Yeah. That's when he really introduced himself. Obviously, the one against Plymouth in the Papa John's at Wembley. That was a great finish.
I think with that one as well, I was thinking about this earlier. So, you know, Dempsey scores, 3rd minute or something like that. Yeah. And it was obviously ecstasy. But I think that one, was it in the 9th or 10th minute? It was shortly after.
Very quickly, yeah.
But that one, that goal went in. I got a feeling from that goal where I thought, we ain't losing this game.
Yeah,
the first one was a bit, obviously, like, it's brilliant to score early doors, but you don't know, do you? It's an early goal, you don't know what could happen. But with how we were playing as well, that second goal with Charles, I thought we're going to win this, and then the third one for Kachunga was just game over. Then,
yeah, but that goal he scored in that game is a typical chance in any other league game. He misses.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
He definitely misses because he did actually have to think about how to finish it off and the pressure. And he had 35,000, 40,000 Bolton fans right behind him.
Yeah.
So normally he would miss that.
Yeah, no, you're right.
And I think that was half the reason that everybody was like, because it was just great. And then the other goal was, and again, it wasn't in. This was just through sheer determination and closing down against Fleetwood when he scored from the halfway line.
Oh yeah.
When he went in for the tackle.
Yeah.
It wasn't a shot. It wasn't a shot, but
a sliding tackle, wasn't it?
It was a sliding tackle, but that's Dion Charles.
Yeah.
And that's why I think that's Bolton will miss that big time because you would never see, and I know we love him to pieces, but you'd never see Aaron Collins do that.
No.
He would never do that. And I don't think McAtee would do it. And Victor definitely wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
But that's not their type of game.
No.
And I think Bolton will miss that to a certain extent because sometimes if those front three aren't closing down, it impacts the rest of the team going back. And for 18 months, 2 years, Charles near enough did that on his own. How many games he must have played for us and not touched the ball hardly, but he was closing down all the time.
Right, okay. So, just a couple of questions regarding Dion Charles before we move on.
Yeah.
How much do you think it was?
For the fee?
Yeah. This undisclosed fee.
Undisclosed, but I think it must be in the region of, I think I've seen on social media, I think it's in the region of 750,000.
Oh, okay.
Potentially.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But who's got that figure? Because if it's undisclosed, who's got that figure? You know what I mean?
I don't know. But effectively, it ultimately plays for Randall, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All we've really done is got him out because Randall's come in and we're balancing the books with the. And I would imagine, I bet they're on about the same wage as well. Yeah. I think Dion was on a good wage with Bolton. I don't know how much he was on a week, but it was good.
Yeah.
So I think it's in and around 750 grand, but I could be completely wrong. Yeah. I'm sure I've read that.
Do you think we'll get another striker in?
I saw an interview with Evatt last night, and he did say that they were on the market for one.
Yeah.
But again, it's like with this lad from Peter who's coming, this Randall.
Yeah.
I thought he was more of an attacking midfielder or more central. But against Rotherham last week, he was like part of the front three.
Yeah.
So that makes me think
no,
potentially we might not. But I don't know. I'd like to think we could get. So I think we've been linked with an Icelandic striker, a young lad.
Not Bob Varson.
No, not Bob.
No, he's gone to Burton. We've literally just found out, haven't we?
Yeah.
He's gone to Burton. 3 games he played for Wrexham, and he's gone to Burton. Absolutely gutted. Love that man. Right, okay. So just before I've got one thing I want to talk about just at the end before we finish. But let's go on to Ian Evatt. Let's talk about Ian Evatt because we'd be foolish not to. The pressure is on him at the minute. Me personally, I don't think he's going anywhere. I think that, and it's a risky move, I think that they are seeing his contract out, which expires at the end of next season, which is a long time for someone to have all this heat from the fans on him. I'm not, if that's the decision that they're making, I'm not going to be shouting Evatt out on the stands. I'm not that kind of person. Where do you stand on it?
I've never shout it on the terrace because at the end of the day, he's our manager. I think I can't see, and Sharon's come out and said that they're not going to sack him.
Yeah.
So I think that has just gone away. However, I don't think he's helping himself in the press at the moment.
No.
The interview that he did at the weekend didn't really help his own cause, if anything.
Yeah.
Because in saying that, even if they were to get rid of Evatt, the players are still there and the players are the problem. Yeah. Effectively, that's what he was saying. So
well, I mean, look, I'll just say that I'm not an Everton person. I do think that it is time for him to go, but he ain't going. He ain't going to walk, and he ain't going to get sacked. So you just have to put up with him. But I've got to say that it feels like this is twice I'm defending him. I didn't mind his interview at the end of the Rotherham game personally, because he said along the lines of, yes, the buck does stop with me, but they've got to take account of themselves.
Yeah.
And they were that Rotherham game. I watched
Yeah.
it. I watched it in Manchester in a bar. They were atrocious.
Yeah,
they were absolutely
They were
atrocious.
bad.
And that isn't Ian Evatt's fault that they were so poor on that game. I can blame him for tactics and I can blame him for substitutions, but in terms of effort on the pitch, not one of them. Not one of them.
No, but that leads. You know what footballers are like, and Bolton players are no different to any other team. If the players are getting to the point where they're not listening to Evatt, or B, they want him to go, they will put less effort in. You know, how many times have you seen it with different teams?
Yeah, but that's not good enough, is it?
No, it isn't, and that shouldn't be. I'd like to think if I was in a professional football, I wouldn't do that. But you know, these are young lads, and I personally think, there is the crowd at Bolton are getting bigger and bigger in terms of getting Evatt out.
Yeah.
Whereas maybe up until the playoff final, I think if you spoke to any Bolton fan, they will be like, no, Evatt is the man.
Yeah.
The big turning point was definitely that playoff final.
Definitely.
Because for whatever reason, I still think we've got a massive hangover from that.
Yeah.
I think the last two seasons we put in so much effort and had two massively long seasons because we've been to the playoffs. We've been in the playoffs for the last 2 seasons. I generally think it might have caught up with a few of the players, and they are just generally fatigued.
Yeah.
And it's just that might be an impact. But
just on top of that, with the fatigue, we had a decent cup run in the trophy as well. So that's more games.
We did.
That's more games. And this is a mad theory for you. I think that Evatt wants to win that trophy this year, so we can say that the season has been a success.
Potentially, yeah. I mean, and there's no reason why. I mean, I've seen who potentially we can still play in that tournament.
Yeah.
We've got so the other teams in the northern section are Bradford, Port Vale, or Wrexham, and somebody else that comes to it, and another local team that potentially we should be able to beat. And but
that won't be a successful season. That
I generally don't think. But on the south side of it, Birmingham are on the other side of it. Would you want to go down to Wembley? No. I don't think half the fans would go. If we got to the final, I don't think we would sell it out. Nowhere near. No. And I don't think the demand for tickets would be as high as it has been for the Plymouth game for the Oxford. I think we would. I don't think we'd fill half of it.
Yeah.
And that would be a massive message to.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That'd be a massive message to the club.
And let's say if it was Birmingham, they'd sell it out. They'd fill it out.
Oh, of course they would.
They'd fill it out.
Of course they would, because they're not being Wembley for it. It's a bit like us 2 years ago against Plymouth.
Yeah.
But I do think he is a dead man walking. I think it's only a matter of time. I think within the next 2 years, he will have left the club.
He's not getting a new contract.
He won't get a new contract. No,
there's no way.
I can't see that unless he massively turns it around.
Yeah.
They may the way that the club are operated, they may say, right, this season, let's see where we finish, because at the very best, we're going to finish in the playoffs. At the very best, if we do, then we've got to do all the playoffs again.
Yeah,
and given where we are, let's say we were to play someone like Wrexham in the final.
Yeah,
we're not beating them, are we?
No.
Not if he's
No.
insistent on setting us up as he has done.
Yeah.
He's got to take a bit of responsibility and just say, listen, right, I need to change something with the team, and not just the passing out from the back and stuff. Not all. Don't get me wrong. Every now and again, yeah, but we just don't have the players. We're just not good enough to do it.
No, and we say all the time, don't we, when we go, it's passing at the back, and for me that it's not that bit that's frustrating. What's frustrating is that we get to the edge of the area and we pass it right to the centre to the left to the centre to the right to the, and we do that. Whereas you just think, have a shot. Just say, have a shot. We say this all the time, don't we? That if you get the ball, we are very good at getting the ball to that area. So if you get the ball to that area in the first couple of minutes of the game, have a shot. It might go wide, it might go over, it might go straight at the goalkeeper, you have a shot. Then if you do it again, you have another shot. And if you do it again, you have another shot. And within the first 5-10 minutes, you've got the keeper and the defence thinking, we're going to be busy today. And straight away, mentally, it changes the match.
But I think he's...
But what they do is they go to the side, then they go to the centre side. And the defence all get back and they go, we can do that all day long. You can see the defence go, you can do that all day long, no problem, because you're not getting through. You're not getting through here.
Yeah. How many times have we seen teams get right back behind the ball when we're attacking?
Yeah.
Because we've slowed it right down.
Yeah.
And then Evatt tries to be a little bit disrespectful with the fans and go, it's a technical game, and we, this is how we have to play it. No, we don't.
No.
I was listening to Talk Sport this morning, and Alan Brazil is brilliant because he was like, all this tippy-tappy football down in the back, just smash it upfield. Sometimes, what's wrong with the good ball over the top?
Yeah.
And that's where we will miss Dion.
Yeah.
With the ball over the top, he was like a whippet, and he would chase that ball. And even if he got a throw in further up, he was brilliant.
Yeah.
We will miss that. McAtee may bring a bit of that. Collins isn't as quick as Dion Charles.
No.
And he hasn't got the work ethic as Dion Charles. But I think if his contract...
But we love him.
But we do love him.
But we love him.
But he never puts a foot on that lad.
No.
But I think, nevertheless, he will be gone. I can't see. If the crowd turn on it, the crowd have turned on him.
Yeah.
You talk to my brother about Ian Evatt, and him and his mate. They've come to the final straw with him, and they're like, and I don't want Evatt. Evatt has built up has brought the club back together to a certain. I don't care what people say about him.
Oh yeah, definitely.
From when he first joined the club to where we were up until the playoffs, we were back as a club. The fans were involved. Sharon was brilliant. She was doing all your season ticket deals, all your family fun days. Gambling's been, not that I'm not a gambler whatsoever. She's taken the gambling away from it, which to me is a good thing.
Yeah.
But slowly but surely, the club are now kind of, and Ian and Sharon, you've got to put Sharon in there as well. They're undoing all the hard work about bringing this club together. Now, it does make me think that is one reason that they're not sacking him is because they haven't got the money to pay him. They don't want to pay him. And don't forget, if you were to sack him, we need to bring another a manager in who will have his own team.
Yeah.
So that does lead to the question: how much money have we got?
Yeah.
Plus, don't get me wrong. I mean, we've spent about 825,000 on this new lad from Peterborough with add-ons. They are still backing him.
Yeah.
And if they were thinking of sacking him,
they wouldn't have done that.
They wouldn't have done it. And Glenn made a good point. If we were going to sack Evatt, they should have done it at maybe the end of November, beginning of December, so that the new manager could come in and they could look for new recruits in January.
But then it's a money thing. It's paying Evatt off,
and getting a new manager,
and giving him the money for the new players.
Exactly.
So, I mean, that's why I think they're going to see his contract out. I think it's a long time to hear on the terraces, in inverted commas, Evatt out. It's a long time, and I think attendances will dwindle slightly. I don't think that much though, but I think it'll dwindle slightly.
What we'll be telling is season tickets are coming up for renewal in March, April time. The early bird deals. That will be telling because how many have we got at the moment? 16,000. Subject to what's happening with the club. I.e., is Evatt still there? Is there any signs of him going? Potentially, you could lose a few thousand there. Well, given that's about £1 million. I read the other day.
Yeah.
You know, £1 million to us as a club.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money to lose.
Yeah.
Because they just don't want to come because of Evatt.
Yeah.
You know, but you will always have your hardcore. You know, me and you will have our season. You'll always have your hardcore. 100%. I'd like to think 13,000, 14,000. Irrelevant to who the manager is, will always come because come supporting your team. But I'm just wary that all the hard work that's been done by the board, the manager, is slowly coming unpicked because he's stubborn.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you were in Evatt's shoes, would you walk away from the job knowing that you could get a payout?
Well, no, you wouldn't. But I'm a big advocate for kind of like mental health issues and stuff like that. It can't be doing him. It cannot be doing him. Well, and I know that he's stubborn, and I know that he's arrogant, and people think, but behind closed doors, he must have shed some tears behind closed doors. He must have done. Whether it's physical tears or inside, there must be some.
He must be, yeah. I mean, he's very emotional when it comes to some of his interviews, especially that one. I think when we lost to Huddersfield.
Yeah.
I think he was almost. I think that was the game where he was almost breaking down on that interview with GMR, and that isn't healthy for himself.
And that's what I mean. Like, if he doesn't walk, that was the point. That, like, if he doesn't walk mentally, physically, how much can he? How much can he cope? Because everyone's got a breaking point.
I think his breaking point was following the playoff final.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because he disappeared. He totally went off off the scene, and it wasn't because we lost. It was the manner and how we lost.
Yeah.
And everybody knew this season was going to be a very difficult season just purely because of the way we finished the end of the season. And if we didn't start the season well, and it's been stop and start this season.
Yeah.
You know, we actually have, for periods of the season, from a results-wise, done all right. We haven't lost loads, but when we lose, we lose.
Yeah.
I mean, when we do play Huddersfield away.
Well, we'll come on to that last point. So Huddersfield away,
that's
not. We've got Cambridge at home, who are second from bottom. So hopefully we can get 3 points. We've got Cambridge at home this Saturday.
Yeah, we've got a game
and then
on
we've
Tuesday.
Got a game on Tuesday. I can't remember who that's against now. I did look earlier. And then the 25th of January, and I'll talk slowly while you look it up.
We've got Charlton.
Charlton, that's it. I did look.
21st.
Charlton on the 21st. But the 25th of January, okay, we are away to Huddersfield. Dion Charles has gone to Huddersfield. Let's go back to Dion Charles. Is he scoring against us?
100%.
Yeah. How many?
Hat-trick. One. Depending on. I think Huddersfield have got an array now of good strikers there. I think they got another lad at the same time as Dion Charles. I think they signed 2 strikers.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. Yeah, I can't remember his name though.
So I can't. So you would like to think, well, from a Huddersfield point of view, you like to think that both of Dion and the other guy will get on the pitch at some point.
Charles is definitely playing against us.
I think he definitely
because he will be chomping at the bit to play against us.
I think he'll have a point to prove for Evatt against Evatt more than anybody.
And he'll celebrate if he scores. If he scores, I think.
Do you reckon?
I do.
You know what? I was thinking about this today.
I do think he will. But like I say, he's got a point to prove.
To Evatt.
Yeah.
Not to the fans.
I know, but I think he will.
I don't think he will.
I don't think he'll celebrate to the Bolton fans. I think he will. Do you know how some players score against the old club and they just walk away with their hands up? There won't be any of that. He'll celebrate to the Huddersfield fans. And it might be their first home game. I don't know if they're playing It can't be. They must be playing at home.
No, I think it's there. No, I've seen on their website
Right,
today. So it's their home. It's their home debut.
He will.
I hope we don't have to test that out.
Yeah.
I hope we don't have to test that out. But if we were playing Huddersfield maybe in 2 or 3 months' time, potentially, he would. But because it's so fresh and he's put that stuff on Instagram as well, he obviously has an affiliation with our club now. You know, we have enhanced his career. You know, he's been to Wembley with us. He scored at Wembley for us. I would like to think he wouldn't. However, football's fickle, innit?
Yeah,
and I really do hope we don't see it. But our away day record is horrendous.
Yeah, so I think we mentioned it, didn't we, on our episode? So the team that we play for, the five-a-side team, we do a Bolton away game every year, and we stay over, get hotel, and we stay over, and we try and do a different place. We've done Leeds, we've done Derby, we've done Sheffield, did Blackpool last season, we did Bristol. And this year, we're doing Huddersfield, and we're doing it next Saturday. And it's an early kick-off, which means a full day on the beer. Yeah. Our away record is terrible. I think we've only ever won one game. I think that was the Bristol game. Markham. I think we've only ever won one. We've drawn a couple and lost the rest. We lost 4-1 to Blackpool last season. Yeah,
we lost 4-0 to Derby.
4-0 to Derby. 2-1 to Leeds.
Was it 2-1?
2-1 to Leeds.
I thought we got a thumping in
that. We drew with Sheffield. Sheffield United 1-0, I think.
1-0 with Legod scoring.
Yeah. Anyway. Morecambe was 1-0. Anyway, we'll be there. We'll be levered. I've got a bit of an idea for possible bonus short if I can do it, and if it isn't explicit enough, I'm going to take the microphones with me to the game and to the away day and see what happens. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that anyway.
Other
than the football, I'm not looking forward to the football.
I think the good thing about that day is the football is the first thing.
Yeah, get it out of the way.
So it gets it out of the way, and then we can enjoy the rest of the day. Because I think against Morecambe away, we actually nearly missed the game because we were staying in that pub in Lancaster, and then we realised we had to get taxis from Lancaster to Morecambe. So no, it's a fun day. I can't wait because last season I missed ours because of my knee.
Yeah.
And I've not seen some of the lads from football for absolutely ages, so it'd be good to catch up. And it's another stadium to tick off that I've not been to. And it's another city or town that I've not been to, so
bring it on.
Should
we tell the anecdote from Morecambe while we're here, with regards to the fellow who we've mentioned? He's come up a few times actually, Ticker.
Yeah.
So we couldn't get tickets for Morecambe, could we? We couldn't get tickets in the Bolton end.
No.
So we ended up. I've got a cousin. Shout out to Nikki, who lives in Morecambe, and she got us tickets for the Morecambe end. And Ticker went to buy some chips. And I mean, you're looking puzzled. Surely you remember this.
I do remember.
All right, Ticker went to buy some chips, and we were stood in the stands and the terraces, saying, "Where's Ticker? Where's Ticker?" He said, "He's just gone getting some chips." And we look, all of a sudden, they have Morecambe get a penalty. Santos gets shown a red card.
He did, didn't he? Yeah.
And James Trafford saves the penalty. So we had very muted, we didn't celebrate because we were in the home end.
Oh.
And all of a sudden, someone said, "Is that Ticker there?" And Ticker is being escorted out by security at the bottom.
Still with his chips in his hand.
With his chips in his hand. And we saw him after and we said, "What happened there?" And Ticker, being Ticker, said, "Well, what all it was," he said, "I went watching the penalty, I had chips in my hand, and when he saved the penalty, I just kind of put my hand like a little bit in the air and went, yes." It was very muted celebration. It was nothing really. And they obviously saw that and chucked me out. So we were like, well, that's a bit unfair, isn't it? Little did we know that when we watched the highlights on YouTube.
I know it was on Sky, it was on my Sky app.
Oh, was it on your Sky app? Yes, that right. You can see Ticker at the back of the goal, and when he saves it, chips go everywhere, and he jumps around like an absolute madman. And if you get the highlights on YouTube, and if you look to the right of the goal from the penalty, you can see Ticker,
a small dot.
Yeah, just jumping around with his chips in the air. Anyway, brilliant. I'm going to try and get, if I bring the microphone to Huddersfield, I'm going to try and get Ticker on the show.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, definitely.
Right, okay, so one last thing before we go. Do you want to know who's on the next episode? Should we do an episode reveal? So we're on the 16th of January. So next Wednesday, the next episode will be Liverpool. Wow. And it will be with Baz. Right. Baz, one of the lads who isn't coming to Huddersfield because he never comes to the away games, but he does play football.
But he pays for
them. Yeah, he pays for them. They don't come. But yeah, so he's going to be doing a Liverpool, talking about why he supports Liverpool, the highs and lows of Liverpool, and then he's going to be giving his ultimate Liverpool five-a-side team. So that'll be out Wednesday on about 6 o'clock in the morning. It'll be ready for your commute to work, so you can listen to Baz's ultimate Liverpool five-a-side team. Jiggy, thank you very much. Short notice.
Not a problem.
But thank you very much. And yeah, thank you very much for listening to this bonus episode of Football Fives. Go on to our socials, like and follow the page. Leave a comment if you disagree or agree with anything me and Jiggy have said about Dion Charles and Ian Evatt. Just be kind. Also, go to your podcast app of choice. Subscribe to the episode so you never miss one. And I will see you again on Wednesday when we talk about Liverpool with a good mate of mine, Baz. So thank you very much. This has been Football Fives, and that is full time.